Hey, core members, another little bit of wisdom to pass on to you as I'm sitting in my car here. This is from Bishop Jacques Benigne Bosset. I don't know how you say his name. I read this little bit in the Magnificat recently, but it's really, really good. Listen to this. He says, the source of all good is to place happiness where it ought to be. And the source of all evil is to place happiness where it ought not to be. Very interesting. The source of all good is to place happiness where it ought to be. You've heard me talk in my books, in my lectures, in these videos about redirecting desire. That sin itself, which is the source of all evil, is misdirected desire. Well, desire for what? Fundamental desire of the human heart is the desire for happiness. And Christ came into the world to show us the true path to happiness. Love one another as I have loved you. I tell you this so that my joy might be in you and your joy might be complete. The great gift of the theology of the body is that John Paul links that new commandment, the key to happiness, he links it with our bodies. He says this is inscribed right in our sexuality and the call to love as male and female. We see this call to love as God loves. Placing our happiness where it ought to be in learning to love as Christ loves, it's the source of all good. But aiming our desire for happiness at counterfeit love, aiming our desire for happiness at counterfeit riches, at counterfeit pleasures, at counterfeit satisfactions, this is the source of all evil. Evil isn't out there in the world somewhere. As Christ himself says, evil comes from what we store up in our hearts, right? What's going on in our hearts, where we're aiming our desires. Jesus puts it this way, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Lord, help us to treasure your promises. This is one of my favorite lines from the Psalms. I treasure your promises, Lord, lest I sin against you. What's the promise? The promise is the satisfaction of our deepest desire for happiness. That's the promise. If we follow, that's the promise. If we treasure that promise, we won't be misdirecting our desires elsewhere. Little nugget for you to take into your day today. I hope it blesses you. You're a blessing to me. Thanks for being part of this with me. I can't do this work without you. Peace.